Good afternoon, racers. Preventing sexual violence is a mission imperative for the Department of the Air Force and the 181st Intelligence Wing. Early efforts to prevent sexual assault mainly focused on the potential perpetrator or the potential victim. However, current violence prevention efforts focus on a third role that has tremendous power to prevent harm: the wingman.
Wingmen are defined as those who witness a high-risk situation and are in a position to intervene, being reactive. Wingmen can also define the norms of their unit or their base and decide what will and will not be acceptable. We call these proactive behaviors.
Wingmen have two important roles to play in addressing sexual violence. One, react when you see warning signs of sexual assault to make it less likely someone gets hurt. Two, clearly communicate that sexual assault is not acceptable and that you expect Air Force professionals to look out for each other. You do this by role modeling, having conversations, and expressing support in meetings, trainings, or among peers. If we all do our part as wingmen and leaders to intervene and set new norms, we can reduce the number of people who are impacted by sexual violence. Recognize warning signs.
Recognizing warning signs for sexual violence is the first step to intervening. Wingmen, they might know a potential perpetrator, victim, or maybe even both. What you notice can change depending on your relationship with the people involved. It is important to remember all genders are at risk for sexual violence.
The warning signs we each notice can be different. What's essential is that we each take action when we see a behavior that concerns us or crosses a line.
Some common warning signs you can notice as wingmen include pushing alcohol or drugs to incapacitate someone,
Testing or violating boundaries, like touching someone in an appropriate way or telling an off-color joke.
separating someone from their friends, coworkers, or peers in a social situation,
Scaring someone using voice or body language.
making threats,
Using physical force.
engaging in unwanted physical or sexual contact as part of hazing or setting group norms,
Pushing drinks on someone.
lacing someone's drink with a drug,
Getting a reputation for being sexually violent, intimidating, or creepy.
targeting someone that a person may have power over related to age, rank, etc.,
Making sexual comments that are inappropriate to the setting or relationship.
seeming preoccupied with another person in a romantic or sexual way,
Engaging in sexual contact with someone who is asleep or passed out.
engaging in any sexual activity that is not wanted.
Everyone has barriers to intervening sometimes. We categorize these in three groups. Personal barriers are things such as fear of embarrassment or retaliation, fear of escalation or getting hurt, or someone being uncertain what to do.
Social barriers are being concerned with how airmen in your unit, friends, or other people will react if you get involved.
There are organizational barriers, which are concerns that getting involved could have a negative impact on your career, rank, or someone else's career.
What is important is that we each take action when we see a behavior that concerns us. That's being a good wingman. Knowing our barriers helps to decide which direction to go in taking action that would be the best action for us considering the inherent barriers involved in the situation.
There are always different courses of action you can take. Pick an intervention option that is most realistic for you to do despite the barriers.
So we'll talk about direct. Address the situation yourself by approaching any of the people involved.
You could delegate. Get someone else to intervene, such as a supervisor, a first sergeant, friends, a bartender, a chaplain, or anyone else.
There's also distract. Create a distraction that will diffuse or interrupt the situation. You could ask someone to drive you home, ask to borrow a phone, or interrupt and start a conversation. Next, we'll be talking about creating a healthy climate.
Prevention is not limited to intervening when you notice warning signs. It includes setting norms that promote respect and make sexual violence less likely to happen.
Consider how you communicate to the people in your unit and on your base that sexual violence prevention efforts are important to you.
Three important norms that help reduce sexual violence are: 1. Sexual assault will not be tolerated. 2. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect. And 3. Everyone is expected to play a part in prevention. Consider different contexts to communicate that sexual violence prevention efforts are important to you, like social media, your work life, and your personal or social life. Norms are set by small decisions. What is something that you can say or do today to promote a healthy climate of respect?